In today's session, we are going to discuss about WebDen Pro Code Wizard, and we will also see table UI element. Okay, how to work with table UI element. Now let me go into the SAP system. Okay, so this is go to SCIT transaction code, and this is the WebDen Pro component that we were working with. Okay, so first of all, I would like to tell you, I would like to explain you about the WebDen Pro Code Wizard. Okay, so let me just go into v underscore main. So what is basically WebDen Pro Code Wizard? WebDen Pro Code Wizard has been provided by WebDen Pro App Framework to generate the required code. Okay, to generate the required code, you can use the WebDen Pro Code Wizard. I mean, it is similar to like in normal ABAP program, you have a option called pattern button. Okay, using pattern button, you can call the function module, you can call the method in a class, and etc etc. So similarly, similarly in WebDen Pro App, specific to WebDen Pro App, we have a WebDen Pro Code Wizard available, which will generate you the code. Okay, so by using the WebDen Pro Code Wizard, it will reduce the time to write the required code in methods. Okay, now I'm just going to explain you what are the options available in WebDen Pro Code Wizard, and how can we adopt as per our requirement. Okay, so you can use the WebDen Pro Code Wizard to design the screen as well as to generate the required code. Okay, today I'm going to show you how can you make use of the WebDen Pro Code Wizard to design the screen, and at the same time how can we make use of the WebDen Pro Code Wizard to generate the required code. Okay, so basically first of all, let's go with the designing the screen using WebDen Pro Code Wizard. So I am in change mode of the WebDen Pro component. Now scenarios where we will have to design a screen with plenty of fields. Plenty of fields, if we have to design in a screen, instead of right clicking on the root UI element container and clicking on insert element, you can make use of the WebDen Pro Code Wizard. I will show you. Okay, so I will create one view. Okay, right click on create v underscore WebDen Pro code. WebDen Pro code wizard. Okay, just click OK. Now a view has been created. Now I'll just right click on it and I'll just insert element. I'm just going to place page header. Okay, type page header. This view has been designed using WebDen Pro Code Wizard. Okay, so I have mentioned the title which needs to be appeared on the page. Okay, now the important thing starts now. Okay, and once again I to align the screen fields, I'm just going to create transparent container. Okay, TCO1 transparent container. Okay, under this transparent container I'm going to create plenty of fields, plenty of UI elements. Okay, let me just select the layout type as matrix layout, and then this as also matrix layout. For every container or group UI element or tray UI element, you can set the layout. Okay, now layout data as matrix head data. Okay, now let me go to context. To design the screen, or to perform the context binding or data binding, we should have context node to be created. Context node should be placed. Okay, let's say for example here I have only just five fields. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create another context node which has a 10 more than 10 fields. Okay, so just click on right click on context and create node. Okay, so let's say VBAK. Okay, VBAK, and cardinality should be 1 to 1 because I'm just going to place input fields. Okay, so for input fields the cardinality should be 1 to 1. Click on add attributes from structure. Okay, let's say I select couple of fields here. Okay, almost I have selected around 10 to 15 fields. Click OK. Now these fields are being created as context attributes. Okay, you can see context attributes. Okay, since you have created a context node in the component controller, this can be used, this context node can be used across the WebDynPro component. You can use this context node in any other controller. Okay, so just click on save. Now go to view. So now I have to, if I would like to use the context node which is created in the component controller in view, I should have to do context mapping. Okay, I would like to use this VBAK context node in view controller, so I have to do the internal context mapping. This is internal context mapping for context element. Context is defined. Okay, so context is defined. Now you see the symbol icon when, just to differentiate whether it is a local context node or global context node at the view level, this is how it will be appeared. This icon, you can see some arrow mark, so it means like it is a global context node. Okay, how it appears if it is local context node, I will show you in v underscore button. In the last session we had created some local context nodes. See, there is no arrow mark. Okay, so these are local context nodes. Okay, so now again go to view. See here, here is a arrow mark. It means context mapping is done from component controller. Okay, so now go to layout. Okay, now I'm going to, I mean if you wanted to create input field UI element in the screen, what you have to do, you have to just right click on the container and click on insert element. If you have to place 10 UI elements, you have to click insert element 10 times. And for every input field, if you have to place label, then another 10 times you will have to click on insert element. Right click on the right click on the transparent container and click on insert element. Likewise, you will have to click on 10 times or 20 times along with label. So now with a single click I am going to design 10 input fields at a time. Okay, depending on number of fields you have chosen. Okay, that I am going to show you. You can just right click on the container and click on create container form. Okay, so here a pop-up will be appeared. Click on context. Okay, so select this context node. Okay, so all the attributes under this context node, this is the context node, this is the view dot VBAK is the context node. So how would you like to show them? Would you like to show them as input fields, or would you like to show them as drop downs or checkboxes or images or link to action, link to URL or radio buttons or text edit? How would you like to show them? But for the time being I would like to show them as input field. So you can choose this standard cell editor in which how you would like to show them. And standard property is value property of this input field UI element. Okay, so now the layout, would you like to create them as matrix layout or form layout? How? Okay, so by default I'm just selecting it as matrix layout. Then here you see binding column. I mean, by default all of them are checked. Okay, so I mean, as many number of context attributes which has binding checked, they will be created in the screen layout. If you uncheck them, this particular context attribute will not be created as input field in the screen. Okay, that I will show you now. So okay, I have unchecked this checkbox for VBLN. So VBLN will not come on the screen. Okay, so the remaining all are there. Okay, so just remember VBLN, we have unchecked the binding property. So now click OK. See, screen has been designed. Okay, so you have more than 10 input fields designed with one single click. See, there is no VBLN, and label has by default come. So I told you in the last session, label will come from the field label of data element. Since VBAC is a standard database table, so all the fields that we had created in the context node are standard table fields. Okay, so for every field there is a data element assigned. In the data element there is a field label specified, so that field label has come by default here. Okay, so label has come by default, and based on the standard cell editor it has come as input field. Okay, so now see, there is no VBLN. Okay, now I am just going to remove this, remove element. See, everything has been gone. Okay, now once again I will create a transparent container. Sorry, select the type, transparent container. Okay, click OK. Now you can click on the WebDyn Pro Code Wizard as well. Click on WebDyn Pro Code Wizard. Okay, you have three options here: screen or form or table. But this screen is not used in WebDyn Pro App as of now, but you can use the form. Okay, so you can click on the form. See, the same pop-up has come. Okay, I'll show you once again. If you just right click on the transparent container and click on create container form, it will open the same pop-up. Or if you just select the transparent container and click on WebDyn Pro Code Wizard, and by clicking on the form it will open the same pop-up. Okay, now I am going to select the context, select the context node. Now I am not unselecting the VBLN binding checkbox. Okay, so remaining all same. I'm selecting it as matrix layout. Okay, now just click on OK. Yes, but I have not selected this layout data as matrix head data. Since the layout data of this transparent container set as matrix data, both are coming in the same line. Okay, but this block length is very high, so that is why, so it will take bottom of the parallel block. Okay, so now you say matrix head data. Now it will come in the next line. See, yes. So now you see sales document has come because I have selected that in the pop-up. Just save and activate it. Select all. Okay. Now I am going to create another WebDyn Pro application. FSN2. See, here I have to specify the interface view. If you just click on F4, how many interface views are there? W underscore button and W underscore main. So w underscore button and w underscore main are already used in other WebDriver applications, but still you can use the same window or same interface view. Let's say I'm selecting the w underscore button and I will give the plug name as default. Okay, default plug will automatically created when window has been created. So every time whenever you create a window, a default plug will be automatically created by WebDin Prabhap framework. Now just click on save as local object. Now let me launch the WebDin Pro application, test. See now the different output is displayed here. Why? Because if you just go to the window w underscore button, what is the view here? What is the view embedded? V underscore button is embedded. So V underscore button view is made as default view. So the screen design that you have done in the V underscore button view will appear in the WebDin Pro application. Now what we can do, either we can create another window. Okay, either you can create another window, create another window and embed the view. Okay, and embed the view. Click F4. Now embed the view v underscore wd code wizard. Click OK. Save. Now activate it. Okay, it is active now. Go to FSN2 application, change mode. Now here you can specify the newly created window wd code wizard. Okay, now click on save. Now if you go to application and refresh it, now you will see the design that we have done. See, this view has been designed using WebDin Pro code wizard. Okay, now you see this is what the screen that we have designed. Okay, now in another way, instead of creating a separate window, you can do in another way. Go to w underscore button. Here what I will do, I will just right click on the, go to edit mode. Now right click on the window and embed view. F4 v underscore wd underscore code wizard. I am embedding a view. Okay, you can embed more than view under a window. You can embed multiple views in a window, but every time only one view will be made as default. So this is default. Which one? V underscore button is default. Now if you just see this is not default. So at a time only one view can be default. Now, so since this is default, what I will do, I will just right click on it and set as default. Okay, I can just right click on the required view and set as default. Just save. Now see, WebDin Pro code wizard, this newly added view become default. But if you just select this is the default was deleted. Okay, so now if you just go to application, now you assign the interface view w underscore button. Okay, now you assign the w underscore button interface view to this WebDin Pro application. Now just activate it. Now just refresh this. See, same output has come. How? See, if I go to this WebDin Pro application, this WebDin Pro application has been created with respect to this component and this interface view, plug name default, and this interface view, if you go to w underscore button window, what is the default view? So whenever you execute the WebDyn Pro application, the interface view which is assigned to a WebDyn Pro application, under that interface view, whatever the view had been made as default, that particular screen design will appear in the application. Okay, so this is the other concept which I wanted to tell you. Okay, now we will go to v_code wizard. Now we will see how to design a table in WebDyn Pro app. Now I'm just going to right click on the root UI element container, right click and click on insert element, TBL, table, table, table UI element. Okay, table, select the table UI element, click OK. Right, I will set it as matrix head data. Now it appear in the next line. Okay, now you should have a separate context node, because for table the cardinality should be 0 to n or 1 to n. So I should see which context node has such cardinality. So none of the context node which are shown here doesn't have the cardinality 0 to n. So I'll go to component controller and I will create a new context node. Okay, Mara, and the cardinality should be 0 to n. Click on add attributes from structure, select some fields, click OK. Now you see all the selected fields are created as context attributes. Okay, now just click on save, go to WebDyn Pro code wizard. Now come here to the context binding. Okay, I have not done the context mapping, so do the context mapping first. Mara, it has the cardinality 0 to n, so this context node can be binded to table UI element. So do the context mapping. Do you want to copy and map Mara? Yes. Go to layout. Now do the context binding. So select the Mara. Okay. Click on save. Now right click on table UI element and click on create binding. In the last session we had done it, but we are repeating once again. Okay. So now select the context node. Now select the standard cell editor as text view or input field, whatever you want to display. So I'm just selecting it as text view, and by default all of them unchecked, so select all. So all the context attributes which are binding column selected, so they will be created as table columns. Okay, click OK. Now you see table columns had come, table columns. Okay, so to design a table, to create a table in the view layout, how many steps we had to done? We had done almost 3 to 4 steps. Now I will show you how to design it, how to place a table, or how to design a table in WebDyn Pro component with a single click. That I will show you. Just right click and delete it. Okay, so now save it. Click on insert element, TCO underscore table transparent container, and select the layout as matrix layout and layout data as matrix head data. Okay, now just click on the WebDyn Pro code wizard, just select it as a table, just click on context, Mara. See, all of them are by default selected. Just click on OK. See, everything has been done automatically. Okay, everything has been done automatically. Matrix layout, matrix head data, and for this, okay, so table has been designed. Somehow it is not appearing here. Somehow it is not displayed. So let me just delete it and create it once again. Just remove element, just save. So select it as matrix head data. Okay, now click on WebDenPro code wizard, select table, context, Mara, click OK, but it is still not displayed. Let us save and activate it. Check. Okay, the layout data type of table must be of type matrix head data. Okay, but there is no layout data property itself, so it seems to be like a standard issue. So let me just, but this is how we create a table UI element in view. Okay, just let me just remove it. Just remove it. Now just place this cursor on root UI element container and click on WebDenPro code wizard, table. Let us try this way. Okay, so everything has come. Now just click OK. Now you see table has been displayed here, but now layout data property has come. Okay, now just select this as matrix head data. Right, now this has appeared. Save. Now what I will do, in the reverse fashion, I'll create a insert element, tco underscore table transparent container. Now I will select it as matrix layout and set it as matrix head data. Now I'll just do drag and drop into the transparent container. Now it is appearing. So this is a standard product bug, WebDenPro problem in the WebDenPro framework. Let me just activate it. Select all, click OK. Now execute the WebDenPro application. Now you see table has been displayed. Okay, so this is how we can make use of the WebDenPro code wizard to design the screen. Okay, so this is how we can extensively use the WebDenPro code wizard to design the screen. Now we will see how can we make use of WebDenPro code wizard to generate the code. Okay, to generate the code. Now go to methods, go to any method, or let me create a separate method, test WebDenPro code wizard. I can specify my own method name. Okay, so now press enter, just double click on it. Yes, here now we are just trying to generate some code using the WebDenPro code wizard. Just click on WebDenPro code wizard, you'll get a pop-up. Yes, now this time, while designing a screen, the pop-up which has come was different, and while writing the code, the pop-up which has come is different. How does system know that we have to which pop-up has to be displayed? Because if you are in layout tab and if you are designing a screen, then pop-up will be appeared like this. Okay, template gallery, cancel. Now since you are in methods, you will be writing only code. So now if you just click on WebDen Pro Code Wizard, this is how the pop-up is displayed. Now let me explain you. We have two different tabs available in the WebDen Pro Code Wizard pop-up. The first one is context and second one is general. So in which cases we use the context tab and in which cases we use the general tab. So this is important. So 90% of the code what we write in the WebDen Pro can be generated using the WebDen Pro Code Wizard. Only 10% of the places where we will have to write the manual code. Otherwise 90% of the code can be generated using the WebDen Pro Code Wizard. Okay, the code which is specific to WebDen Pro level can be generated using the WebDen Pro Code Wizard. If something internal table logic or internal table processing, that kind of thing, normally as we do in the ABAP coding, we'll have to be do similar in WebDen Pro ABAP also. But if it is something specific to WebDen Pro ABAP level coding, that can be done using the WebDen Pro Code Wizard. Okay, so now here if we have 3 radio buttons and 1 checkbox. Now, so read radio button, if you select the read radio button, you can read the data from context node or context attribute. Okay, here first of all you have to select the required context node or context attribute. You can select the context node. See, in this context node you are trying to read the information which is stored in the VBAK context node. Okay, see, the other radio button and checkbox has been disabled because VBAK context node has the cardinality 1 to 1. Okay, so append is used for tables, as table operation checkbox is also used for tables. So table in the sense like context node should have cardinality 0 to n or 1 to n. So now since VBAK context node has cardinality 1 to 1, so the other two options are disabled. Now either you can read the data from context node or you can set the data into context node. Okay, to which context node? The context node which is selected here, which is appearing here. If you want to read the data from this context node, you select this radio button. If you want to set the data into this context node, you can use this radio button. Okay, now I'm just going to select the other context node. Okay, this context node has cardinality 0 to n. So if I select this, see, all of them are enabled. Either you can read the data from context node as a single record, or you can you can put the data into context node as single record or multiple records. But if you use append, it is always to insert the record into context node. Here append works similar to append syntax in the normal ABAP. When do we use append statement? To append the record to internal table, we use the append statement. Here also, if you are trying to insert one record into context node, you can use append. But if you are trying to insert multiple records into in context node, you can use as table operation. In the similar way, with the combination of read, you can use the as table operation. With the combination of set, you can use the table operation as append also. When you select the read radio button and as table operation, you are reading multiple records from context node. If you say set and as table operation, if you want to insert multiple records into context node. Append is if there are already records there in context node and you are willing to add new records, then you can select append and as table operation. Okay, right. So these are all similar like append or collect or all. Okay, so it's a abstract in WebDen Pro ABAP. Now if you go to general, see here in general tab you have multiple radio buttons. So the first one is method call in current controller. Let's say, what is method call in current controller? Whatever the controller that you are currently working. Okay, if you are trying to generate the code in component controller, then that becomes the current controller. And or if you are working with WebDin Pro Code Wizard in view controller, so view controller will becomes the current controller. Okay, now the other next second one. And now here if you select this radio button and specify the method name if you want to call that method. Now the second radio button, method call and used controller. Now you are in view controller but willing to call the method of component controller. So the component controller will becomes used controller here. Okay, and similarly you are in window controller but you are trying to call the method of component controller, then component controller will become used controller. Okay, so in such cases you can use this radio button. Now instantiate used component. When you have cross component, when you have multiple components, you are trying to access, I mean, let's say for example component 1 and component 2, you are trying to access the component 2 objects in component 1, then you will have to initiate the other component which is used component. Now start navigation. This is a navigation concept. So okay, so when navigation concept has come, I will explain you, but here the purpose of this radio button is to trigger the outbound plug. Okay, to start the navigation or to trigger the navigation, this radio button can be used to generate the required code. Now here this is generate message. This radio button is used for message handling. While doing the message handling, to generate the required code, you can use this radio button and generate the required code to perform the message handling. And here text symbol access. So text symbols can be created, so you can use this radio button for text symbols. And generate pop-up. Okay, so generate pop-up is we have a separate unit for this pop-up functionality also. We have a separate unit for message handling, we have a separate unit for generate pop-up, we have a separate unit for instantiate used component, we have a separate unit for start navigation. Okay, so almost all the radio buttons have separate topics. So whenever that unit we discuss, that we will that time I will also explain you how to use this radio buttons. And now you can use this radio button generate pop-up to display the pop-up in WebDin Pro application. Okay, portal integration. If you are integrating WebDin Pro applications with portal, then you can use this radio button. And personalization. If you are trying to call any personal methods, personalization, then you can use here. It is a new feature added in the enhancement pack 5. Okay, so this is how you can make use of this WebDin Pro Code Wizard in the code. Okay, now I will show you. So we will be using regularly during our training the WebDin Pro Code Wizard very often. Close it. Now let me show you one by one how to make use of the WebDin Pro Code Wizard. Just click on WebDin Pro Code Wizard. Let's say I wanted to create a value of one context attribute. Okay, so I will show you. Let's say for example this is the layout. Let me activate it. Now let me just refresh it. Now let's say for example here sales document. Now user will enter some value in the sales document. Now I want to read the value entered by user in the sales document input field. How do I read that? Now let me see. Let me to make you understand, let me compare with normal ABAP programming. Okay, so I have a report program wherein I have written parameter statement, parameters p_vbln type vback -vbln and activate the program, execute it. Now when you execute the program, since you have written the parameter statement, you will get to see one input field created in the selection screen. Okay, now you enter some value in the selection screen vbln and execute it. Now the value entered by user in the selection screen gets stored in the parameter variable p_vbln. Let's say for example in the selection screen you have entered value 10. So where is that value get stored? The value gets stored in the p_vbln. If you take module pool program, in module pool program you have designed a screen using VBLN field, one input field. So you have created one input field in the module pool program, module pool screen painter, and you have assigned a field VBLN to that input field. Now create a transaction code and execute it. Now when user enter value in the VBLN input field, where is behind the screen, where is that value getting stored? The value getting stored in the VBLN screen field. So now here also similarly, here for a end user, he doesn't see what is the background, but he will enter the value in the input field. Now for a developer, we should, while coding we should know what value has been entered by user in the coding. Now I'm just going to write the code. Let's say for example 271 has been entered by user. Now there should be some user interactive. Now let's do one thing. This is the input field. Okay, here user will enter some value and click on enter. I'm just going to create on enter VBLN. Just click on this transfer UI event parameters. So just click OK. Just double click on it. Okay, now activate it. Keep a breakpoint. Now go to WebDynpro application and refresh it. Okay, now user will enter some value and press keyboard enter. I am entering 10. Okay, now user will press enter, keyboard enter. Just press enter. Now it should go to debugging. Yes, see, this is the component, this is the view, this is the method. On action VBLN. Okay, just press F8. So now here I am going to write the required code. So here now what I would, let me tell you some scenario. Now here what I am going to do is I am going to validate the value entered by user in the VBLN input field. If it is exist, I will not throw any error message. If it doesn't exist, I will throw an error message. Let's take this scenario. Now in order to validate whether the value entered by user in the input field is exist or not, first of all I should know what is the value entered by user. So if user enters some value, where is it is getting stored? It is getting stored in the context attribute. The value entered by user in this particular input field, the value gets stored in the context attribute. The context attribute which is binded to this UI element. So in that particular context attribute, the value gets stored. What is the context attribute? Now let me show you. So here you see value property binding exists. Just click here. See, so the now let's say in this scenario 10 is the value. So now 10 value will get stored in the VBLN context attribute of this context node. Now just close it. Now here go to WebDynpro code wizard. Now I would like to read the context attribute value. Just select the context, choose the required context attribute. Now I am just going to read the value stored in this context attribute. Okay, so just click OK. You see code has been generated. So get attribute is the method which will give you the attribute value. Exporting VBLN, importing value in variable. Okay, now see, activate it. Just keep a breakpoint here. Now just go to WebDynpro application and enter some value. Press keyboard enter. Now it will open the debugging. Now you see, press F6. You see LV underscore EBLN has 10. So user entered value 10. So now you see the value has come here. press F8. Now I'm just going to validate. Since I have the value, what I will do, select single VBLN from VBAK, where VBLN equal to LV underscore VBLN. If select single star okay into ls underscore VBAK. So before to that, do the data declaration ls underscore VBAK, type VBAK. If size sub RC equal to 0 and if. Now save it. Now here I'm going to display a message. Okay, so if size of RC not equal to 0. If the value entered by user does not exist, I'm going to display a message. Go to general, select this radio button, F4, report error message. Okay, you can use this method. Sales document number does not exist. Control S, save and activate it. Okay, ls underscore VBAK has already been declared. So let's say for example VBA1 AK1, activate it. Now just refresh the application. Let's say 1 2 3 4 5 and press keyboard enter. Now see F6, this is the value entered by user. Press F6, size of RC 4, so not equal to 0, it will go inside. See report error message, sales document number does not exist. Press F8, see sales document number does not exist. So this way we can do validation and we can read the value entered by user in the input field. Okay, so in the further sessions we will be using the Webdyn Pro Code Wizard, and then I can explain you each and every radio button, each and every concept. Okay, so in the next topic we will see how to work with table. Okay, now we will see displaying a data in a table. Okay, so and one more thing, as per the MVC architecture, we are not supposed to write any select queries or database SQL statements in the view level. In the view level or controller level or anywhere. I mean, what is MVC architecture says? So all the database retrievals or putting data into database should happen at the model level. Okay, so I will explain you model later. Okay, so but just to show you, I have written the select query here, but as per MVC architecture we are not supposed to write any OpenSQL statements in the Webdyn Pro component level. Okay, right, now let me just go to Webdyn Pro Code Wizard, go to layout. Now we have designed a table, we have created a table, and this is being displayed as output in the screen. But now we are going how to display data in the table. Now let's do that. Go to methods, go to www init. In the next session I will explain you all these hook methods. Okay, so www init is the first method which gets executed when view has been displayed. So I have to write the code in www init. So here I will use the select query again. Select star from Mara into table lt underscore Mara up to 10 rows. Okay, so now if size of RC equal to 0 and if now here we are going to do the data binding. Select star from Mara into table lt underscore Mara table. Do the data declaration lt underscore Mara table type table of Mara. Okay, so here we are going to do the data binding. So data binding using the Webdyn Pro Code Wizard. Just click on Webdyn Pro Code Wizard. Use this set as table operation. Select the required context Mara. Now just click OK. Code has been generated. Now you see bind underscore table. This method is used to bind the data to context node. Okay, bind the data to context node which has the cardinality 0 to n or 1 to n. Okay, so now data has come in this particular internal table. Now pass this internal table. Okay, Control S, activate it. But as per the MVC architecture, we are not supposed to write any OpenSQL statements in the view level. Okay, so view is responsible for displaying the data to user. View should not hold any data retrieval logic or data sending logic. Okay, anyway, just keep a breakpoint here. Now go to Webdyn Pro application and enter, refresh it. Now see, www init is the first method which gets executed when view is displayed for the first time. Okay, see, view has not been displayed yet, but www init method is executed. See this? This is the view, this is the component. www init is the first method which gets executed when view is about to display for the first time. See, now lt underscore Mara underscore table has 10 entries. F3, now F6. See, bind underscore table lt underscore Mara table. Press F8. You see data has come in the table. Okay, see, this has come as column because the field has a data element df client level. If you just go to context Mara pstat, this is LVORM, flag material for deletion at client level. So since it has char1, it is displayed. Webdyn Pro framework understood that it is char1, so it has displayed as checkbox. Okay, so now data is displayed in the table. Now I will show you the properties of context node. How can we make use of the properties of context node? See here, what are the properties here? Cardinality 0 to 1, 0 to n. So we already discussed cardinality defines the behavior of the context node. If you set the cardinality of the context node as 0 to n or 1 to n, then context node will behave as a internal table. So that we can see here. Okay, we can see multiple records. Now, what is the importance of selection property here? Okay, now I should show you that since the context node is created in component controller, we cannot change the properties of this context node in the view controller. So go to component controller, select the Mara context node. Here selection is made as 0 to 1 only. So since the selection cardinality of the context node is 0 to 1, you cannot select more than one record at a time. So now I'm just trying to select more than one record. See, you cannot select more than one record. If you want to select more than one record, press Control and click here. Even though you select Control button, you cannot select more than one record. Okay, now I will show you. Now change the selection cardinality to 0 to n. Change the selection cardinality to 0 to n. Save it. And now go to WebDen Pro Code Wizard. Whenever you change the properties of the context node, wherever it has been used, come there and right click on it, update dictionary attributes. Click on update dictionary attributes. Okay, save. Now activate it. Now just right click on WebDen Pro component and activate to activate all the objects of WebDen Pro component. Now just come here. Now you see. Okay. Now remove the breakpoint, save, execute. Now you can select, you must be able to select more than one record. See, you are able to select more than one record. You are able to select more than one record. That is because of the selection cardinality has 0 to n. Okay, so now the other property called initialization lead selection. Now let me show you once again. Let me refresh it. By default, if you see here, I have not selected any record, but by default one record, first record has been lead selected. First record has been lead selected. That is because of this initialization lead selection is set as checked. Okay, now again go to component controller, select the Mara context node and now remove this checkbox. Okay, now remove this checkbox. Save and activate. Now come to WebDen Pro application. See, by default lead selection has been removed because we have removed the checkbox. By default there is no lead selection. Now once again I will select it, save it and activate it. Now go to WebDen Pro application. Now it is not selected, but since we have changed the property initialization lead selection property to checked, now refresh it. Now you see the first record has been lead selected. So now this is the importance of initialization lead selection property of context node. Okay, so now we have seen almost all the properties except supply function. Now I will also show you supply function. Now let me tell you. Let's go to v underscore button, go to context. Okay, so let's say table, or let's go to layout. Okay, so material number, let's say for example material number, or let me just go to WebDen Pro Code Wizard view itself. Okay, so let me execute the WebDen Pro application. See, there is no data displayed in this input fields. Okay, now what is the purpose of supply function? Supply function can be used to populate the default values in the UI elements. You can use the supply function. So another important entry question is what is supply function? supply function can be used to populate the default values in context node. Okay, supply function can be used to populate the default values in UI elements or context node. If the data is there in context node, then that will automatically be displayed in the UI element where the context binding is done. Okay, so now let us do that. Go to context. So which context node it is binded? So it is bound to VBAK context node. Now go to component controller, select VBAK and create a supply function. Populate VBAK. Okay, so this is something like a method supply function. Now go to methods, you will see populate underscore VBAK here. So this is supply function. You see supply function. Now go here. So code will be automatically generated. Now here you can so everything is commented. Now you can uncomment whichever the code you want it. Okay, now go here. I am just uncommenting it. This one, uncomment it. Now you can uncomment this also. Now this is bind structure. Now see what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pass some values 2 3 4. Okay, now here er dot is 10 dot 10 dot, or else what I will do side atom. Okay, side atom ergt. Let me go to VBAK table /o s11 VBAK. Okay, this is entry time. Okay, so I use it ernum psi uname angdet angdt quotation inquiry is valid from side atom again. Okay, and bandit, this is date again, side atom r dot is again document date side atom VB type is document category, let's say A, and TRVOG transaction group, let's say A. Okay, let's change it to B. AUART, or I mean, okay, let's leave them. Okay, similar way you can give what you can enter the required value. Now see ls underscore VBAK has been passed. We are passing ls underscore VBAK here. We use bind underscore structure to bind one single record to a context node. Okay, now save it. Now activate it. Now you keep a breakpoint here. Now you see, refresh this WebDynpro application. Now it will go to debugging. Now you see ls underscore VBAK. ls underscore VBAK has this data. Okay, we had given, right? Okay, now just press, since this context node has data, it will be displayed in application. See 1234 dot time user date inquiry. Okay, so like this, so you can display, you can populate the default values into the context node. Thus it will be appeared in the screen. Okay, so we have seen almost all the properties of context node. Okay, so we will continue in the next session with the other topics.